Ryan, have you ever thought about being an architect?
Have you ever thought about being a truck driver?
Have you ever thought about being a salesperson?
What about something in the medical field?
Realtor? Listen to Crew Pass every Thursday
Wherever you listen to podcasts,
and on YouTube. You might learn something.
you might not.
It's your life. Make it happen.
Memories fading, we all forget those not so shiny things you do.
Career Paths.
Action. Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
You want to do it? You want to start?
You're on. Yeah, you get.
I'm on?
You're on. Yeah. You got to earn that money somehow.
What? Wait. You talking to guys again at the office?
Of
Paul?
course.
God, I'm gonna
Go there every chance I get.
You suck up. Welcome to Career Paths by InfoNet. I'm Vic Boudreau with Ryan King.
Woo! Woo!
Where's our guest? We don't have a...
We're guestless.
You know why?
I do know why. Do
Sure.
you?
I don't have a clue.
It's a big celebration.
We have a new set.
We do have a new set. That's all we're celebrating. All right, end the show.
Thanks. Bye. It's episode 100. We started this. Did you ever think we'd get this far?
No.
Because when we started, it was beginning of the pandemic, etc. Other factors came into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 100 already.
We are. We're gonna do it like Oprah.
What? Huh? I'm not Oprah fan, so you share with me.
You get a bag. You get a bag. You get a bag. Everyone look under their seats. They all get a bag.
I don't want to touch that.
Wait.
Don't want to touch it.
Let me put one under. Yeah. See?
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Show's all downhill from here.
Could never go up.
Never
It's
has.
going down now.
Never has. So, thank you. It was Ryan's idea. Whoa, I gotta be careful with
Yeah.
the set. I get excited.
Easy there.
Whoa, cowboy. Ryan came to me with asked me to be a part of the show. It was your idea. How'd you come up with the idea? I know we talked about this previous, but share with the people now.
Well, at the time, my son Dylan had just signed up for college, but he didn't know what he wanted to do. So he's like, well, it doesn't make any sense to go to college if I don't know what I'm going for.
I've heard this story that you get your basic academics or something. Because I never went to college.
Yeah. You know, they all say that, well, you need to get started with,
Right.
but you still got to pick something
They
to
just
even
want
start
to
with.
reel you in.
You know, he originally wanted to be an engineer, but hates math. So
Does that correlate? I'm not an engineer.
apparently, I don't
So
know.
you're talking train or building? Or
Building.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
building. Yeah. And then my youngest daughter was also, you know, had been talking to her. I don't remember how old she was at the time. She was 13 or something, 12.
Yes.
And it's like, what are you gonna, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she's like, had no idea. She's super smart and stuff. So
Yeah.
we're like, you know, you need to do something that
You hope.
is gonna play to your strengths.
Right. So,
And you know, she went from, you know, like lawyer down to, you know, over to EMT and then over to this and then over to, you know, something in the medical field and then something not in the medical field. And
how she figured it out?
no.
Okay, good. How long she
Actually, well, she's getting ready to do running start now. And I think they're actually getting it dialed in to where she has some sort of goal for it. But, you know.
Now you got me asking, from Running Start, do they have counselors that help out? Because I haven't dealt with this. Okay. Because you and Carrie would be the other people, and that's not going to work well.
Yeah, no. Why do you think they have counselors?
I line it up.
But, you know, so I was sitting there thinking of that, and I'm like, there needs to be some sort of thing out there that's got information on what jobs are like and stuff besides, you know, Googling, you know, pharmacist makes $50 an hour and blah, blah, blah. You know,
Right.
and you count pills all day, and it's like, well, there's a lot more to that than,
Yes.
you know, than what Google tells you.
Really? Google
Yeah.
it? Okay.
You know, for one, you're doing more of management than you are counting pills, really. You know, because they're the ones running the whole pharmacy. They got to manage all the other people in there and that type of stuff. And it's like, you don't really learn that just from Google.
How do you know this?
I read it once. One time only.
Not on Google. Actually, Michael Licati, one of our guests, he's actually changed careers again. He was driving for the city doing transport.
Yeah, the paratransport.
Thank you. And he at one time went to school for pharmaceutical. Yeah. And yeah, that was one of several. Mike, you know I love you. I was picking on him. He's gone to school for truck driving, pharmaceutical, a couple others. Yeah. So
I can relate. I haven't made it through school for those things, but you know, I don't just stick to one job. Well, I do now, but it took me many, many years
because
to
your wife,
get me to that
your
one
wife
job.
tells you?
Yeah, of course.
You're happily married, and she'll tell you. I keep moving the set. I'm not used to
You
it.
do. It's like
Wow.
spinning table. It's like pretty simple. Yeah.
Roulette. Okay. So, so your daughter is now kind of you, but you don't know what the heck is going on, do you? Did you communicate?
Not
with her?
really, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So, good parenting there.
That's
We run into a lot of that too.
yeah.
Why do you think I don't have kids?
You know, it's more. My memory's very non-existent. So
Huh?
I know I knew
Huh?
at one time.
Oh, you were told.
Recently, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it really
But-
matters what your child does, and
That's why I have Carrie.
I don't know why she can't. You guys got back to what she was thinking. I've talked to her, and I'm just saying.
I don't even know how to answer that one either.
You guys were
I got nothing.
Ryan's childhood sweetheart. You guys dated in high school. Just his
Mhm.
wife now, current wife,
Yes.
last wife hopefully.
Yes.
All these little tidbits where we don't get to do this when we have guests. To actually kind of delve into
Not really. No.
our BS. We try to be professional. Keyword try. That's all I got. So anyway, where were we before we get off track?
Talking about the 100th episode.
Is that what I thought it was the new set? I'm confused all of a sudden.
Okay, we'll talk about the new set. So on the new set, we have 3 green chairs.
What
I
was
can't
that?
even say
You
it.
know what? I didn't realize it's with our logo. It wasn't on purpose either. I know,
Oh,
guys.
see?
See, you didn't even notice that, did you?
No. I was gonna say I knew it was intentional, but you know, or figured it was, but I didn't even notice.
Now our guests that we've had, and now we started doing our update interviews with former guests. How many of those do we have? We have like 5 or 10, or maybe possibly.
We're right in there, I think.
Yeah. And I know we have
Right in
some.
between.
We have several lined up, ready to go again. That either change careers or just their job career has moved forward and has changed because of they don't have to go to a building. They can stay at home, work these days, and so different ways to work and situations. So a little update. If you watched any of the previous episodes, we should have a favorite guest from our viewers, and
We should.
just an idea.
All 3, you write in. Tell us what your favorite guest was. Well, I guess 2 of you, because I think the third's behind the camera. So.
Hey Nick, how you doing? We have somebody behind the camera that might be part of joining the team, either behind the camera, in front of the camera. You never know what's going to happen with this situation, because I started interviewing and you were behind the camera, and there was a couple of times you actually did interviews. You had to take over an interview second part because I had got sick, and that gentleman wants to come back really soon. I ran into you
Because the second half was so bad, he's like, we gotta do it again.
I didn't want to tell you, but you already knew. Yeah. So
It's one of those things.
I watched you blossom, if you will.
Ooh,
Blossom like that.
I like that.
It's so hard for me to be nice to you. We've known each other so long. It's hard for me to be nice. If you're nice to me, I think you're dying, I'm dying, and I know I don't owe you money.
Yeah.
So
I think I owe you dinner.
you
I think it's my turn.
maybe
I don't know.
I remember when you had to
for
fire
lunch
me.
or-
Remember when you had to fire
Yeah.
me for that one job?
I do.
Nick's going.
Apparently you do too.
No. I hadn't
That
thought about
story.
it. Here's our quick story. Ryan and I have known each other. This is one reason we do this and have fun doing it. We've gone through a lot of different situations. And you were a part owner of a used bookstore. And something was going on, not so much with you, but the other partner, which ended up where you're not part of that anymore, neither is he. But somebody else got fired. That was part of the initial
Yeah.
crew. I was there. I remember the stuff. And we joked around because you weren't a part of that firing per se. It wasn't your idea.
Right.
So and
I was there during, but it wasn't.
right.
Yeah.
So to fire an employee that your partner wanted to fire, and you and I joked. I said, if something like that, you owe me dinner, you know. And less than a week later,
Yeah.
I stopped by your house and go, I got to fire you. You owe me dinner. That was the extreme of it, but
Yeah. You were pretty broke up about it.
yeah, I was. I actually enjoyed that. I was looking forward to doing it. It was nice to doing books. I don't know how to read, which you know. So to talk to people about what they did and engage them, I think that's one of the reasons you've seen me do that. BS where I pull out of the people coming in and ask them why, what now, and I admit I don't read or I'm not into that. And so why, what genre of, books or the author that they like the best, and etc. So.
See, and looking back on it, it's like, why did I ever join into a bookstore when I'm kind of the same way? It's like, I tried to organize it and categorize it and everything
Yeah.
else, and it's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And the people that took over, we've had one. I've tried to get the other owner on, part-time woman.
we'll get her.
Okay, you've gone down there. I think I
Yeah.
reached out once or twice and I've not, but I know things have been strange. Now the world's opening up again.
Yeah.
So, anyway, our stories, Nick's just going, what the heck? Are you following any of this?
I was sleeping. What?
Okay, thank you. So that explains a lot for other guests. So, yeah. So, back to the show. We started over 2 years ago.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is, really.
It's, when the pandemic started, we started with audio. We do have YouTube unedited now, but there's a story with that, but we don't have to get into it. But we finally have the video and we want to do more, and possibly with the extra help that we might be having. I'm not even gonna look at him. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm behind the camera. I don't know how much I should say.
Well, we don't know until
I don't want to interrupt the magic.
Well, I know. That's what your wife
Is
says.
that what we're calling it?
So, but with all the episodes for you, for me, it's been a learning process. I'd say 80-90% of the guests are people that I know, acquaintances or family or etc. And I always learn something about our guests, as well as, even if I don't know, one comes to mind, Jason, John Simpson. Just learning about them in general because I didn't know them beforehand. But
Yeah. See, now you know what it's like on my side, because most of them I don't know beforehand,
right,
so I get to learn
everything.
everything about them.
Yeah, and you wonder why they're friends with me or acquaintances. They came on the
Every
show,
single one of them.
and yet they still came on the show. They still. How many have you had on the show that I keep putting? I don't know if I want to.
Yeah,
I hear that one once in a while.
I've had a few.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So what?
a little camera shy, but
I'm very camera shy.
yeah, me too.
I know.
That's why it just doesn't work.
You have a face for radio. Sorry.
AM radio.
Sorry, I had to throw that out there. The old one. That reminds me of Jeff Scott, a radio guy that I met years ago. He was great to have on.
Yeah.
Rob, our recent guest, Bradbury, actually knew. So I reminisce all these interweaving paths with people I've known doing different stuff. And do you remember this guy? You remember? Yeah. So anyway, out of our 100 shows, obviously we've had return guests and double shows, or we'll have a two-parter, so we don't have 100 guests. But what stands out for you, guest-wise and career-wise, would you say stands out to you that, out of all our guests? And I know we talked about this the other day, but
Well, I think career-wise, I don't know if there's just one that really stands out.
Do you have
for,
a couple that you can mention off the top of your head? 'Cause
I have a few, yeah.
Who? What?
One of the ones I thought was very fascinating was Vince
Brown.
Headhunter,
Yeah,
basically.
yes.
And there's been a few that really stood out. Mike Ankeny.
Yes.
I mean, just the fact that
Yeah.
what he's doing
Correct.
could benefit so many people
Yeah, and we gotta
without.
get him back on the show.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, we've talked about that. And definitely. For anybody thinking that for a career you need to go to college, and one of our sticklers with the show is maybe not. You don't have to. Brian and I have not, but maybe that shows you why we're here
Yeah.
and what we've gone through. But I've enjoyed my life and going through it. And I didn't do the college thing at one. It wasn't my thing. So and I've experienced a lot of life. But there's opportunities for young, hands-on, and it's not just guys. Girls could get into that.
Yeah.
So you can get trained on how to do. What was you're in the field more, but
He does, well, they got the apprenticeship for heavy equipment.
thank you.
I think he does the apprenticeship for carpentry.
I believe you're right.
And I'm not sure if there was another apprenticeship in there, but it was all, in the construction type field.
Right, and to do that, the reason why I brought it up, not just heavy equipment, but you can earn tools along the way doing your job, so you don't just get thrown out of school, which you pay for. When you're doing the way through air, trying to think of the company name. It's been so long I haven't thought the actual. It's a city or state. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should have done our research better.
Yeah, we should.
We
but,
suck. Sorry, Mike, but I know.
We're not known for research.
What? How do you do that? I just remember encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So that there are other ways to go than school, college. I'm not saying that's wrong. Some people
No.
it works out great. It gives you the information you give,
A lot
but
of it depends on the field you're going into.
exactly. Some of the newer fields, for my information, my niece, talking about going to school, and she's just graduated from Boston Law. Her graduation ceremony was this last Friday.
Hmm.
She's studying 9 weeks apparently for the bar exam in Boston.
Wow.
I'd asked my brother Jim, and she will be on the show after she passes the bar. And at that, I've already talked about her. So just an upcoming guest, and she'll be a two-parter, but update when we do it. But I want to talk to her about going through that and going through the bar because I have no idea. That's law and smart and doing the back east. And she can apparently stay back east. I didn't know that.
I know nowadays I passed the bar, but back then I didn't pass a single one without going in.
Mm-hmm.
But, no. Had to go there. Had to
I
go.
knew you were doing it. So, just crazy.
But anyways, back to your question.
So, yeah, what was
I don't even remember what it was.
where were we?
I think one of the things that
Oh, that's right.
that kind of settled in on me, I guess you'd say, was the fact that almost anything you can think of can become a career now.
Apparently.
It's not like way back when, there was a lot less actual careers.
Right.
There's a lot of jobs out there. but-
Right.
And now you can turn so many things into a career. Or before,
Not so much.
before it was kind of more of a, if you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good career
Or
type
good
thing.
money
Yeah.
and make the big bucks or
Which
whatever.
still wasn't true because,
Correct.
I mean,
Well,
I don't think any of your parents went to college. My dad went for a very short time and then went to work. Had a good career.
Yeah, and my father was ended up with the Air Force, retired after 20 years, and he was a captain. But he was the last class of OCS, which is Officer Training School, something like that, back in '62 or '63. And so I never knew. He was very educated to me growing up. He wasn't a country hick, and he kind of was. But I never. Did you know it? Did you tell he was kind of a country, non-schooled? He just told jokes and had fun.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, I didn't know my mom. She finally graduated. She went back to school after. I mean, I was like 6 or 7 years old. She went to get her high school diploma.
Mm.
So yeah, no college there. And in my immediate, I have 3 brothers and Jim, our first guest, talking about that. It's on my list. Yeah, he went to school
He did.
to be an architect. Yeah. So he's still being an architect
Yeah.
years later. So it keeps him busy. Keeps him.
I got to get a hold of him so he can start drawing out my house.
Your house. Your house.
Yeah.
Well, he just flew back in from Boston today.
Yeah.
Just telling
I'm
you.
not in a hurry, so
Okay, well,
I'll
I
let
just
him catch a nap or something.
you will?
Yeah.
Wow. You're a big, nice guy.
So why is it that Jim's on your list?
Oh, well, you know, when you came to me for the show, it's like, so we gotta have guests. We had to figure out where we're gonna do it, and that's changed over, obviously, because we started at the bookstore. We did
Yeah.
4 or 5 episodes, and then we go, oh wait, we gotta go somewhere. We didn't know, but here we are with just. I showed you the new set.
Yeah.
So I wanted thinking guest wise, and my brother and I, obviously, we're a year apart. We grew up. We know everything about each other, and he would be an easy person to have on. He'd be comfortable because he's been on stage as a performer, being in bands and music just like I have, and yeah. So, and I know what he went through school wise and family wise, kids wise, etc. And he had his first daughter was before his marriage, so just seeing him go through different stuff, good and bad, that I just knew he'd be a good guest and he'd be able to share and be comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I talked. And we had him back update not too long ago. So yeah.
See, and I feel we've had a good handful of guests that could have been a great first guest because they're definitely very
Oh, okay.
comfortable in front of the camera.
Oh yeah. Some of them stand up. Yes. As
Who
we
stands out to you?
Well, we talked about this because it takes a lot for me to, because I've been in front of camera, I've been on a microphone all these years, for somebody to get me to shut up. I mean, I'll listen to guests, as you know, I've hopefully gotten better, but to actually listen because I'm floored. They're making me laugh my butt off. And that was Joe Clark. Joe mentioned, what episode was he? He was at 83. Because it was online, we did Zoom, and I've known Joan for years. We've done charity stuff. We were we were fans for the indoor arena football. I talked about it when you interviewed me. Joe just came on. He's a Civil War historian fanatic, does recreations with how they do that stuff. He is so knowledgeable where he starts talking about stuff, and I know he's right, but I just don't know the stuff.
Yeah.
And, details, not just the General Lee I'm that ignorant on it, but he just went off, as you know, when we interviewed him.
Yeah, I do know.
And
So now, where did he move to?
he's originally Missouri.
That's what I was thinking, Missouri.
Yeah, but I think he's been gone for 4 or 5 years. He came back and visited a year or two ago. We got together, but yeah,
And he did that because of being the history buff and stuff.
that's part of it. Yes,
Yeah.
he got married. His wife lived in the area back there, back east, and Joe for me he took me aback because he's outgoing and doing everything the charity stuff that I've done, Shriners, Toys for Tots, etc. Joe is he would not eat to make sure a kid ate, but he was on. I don't know what revved him up. I don't know. He just he was talking about the and I don't know how to repeat it at this point, but it sounded sexual to me. I know it wasn't. Just remember
yeah.
Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm. I do.
So go back and watch episode 83 with Joe Clark, and you'll see me just back and start laughing because he was on fire, and it's okay.
Yeah, I think we only asked him like 3 questions.
Did we ask him? He went. No, we did because we talked about the
Yeah,
shock.
we started out with,
Geez.
"Are you ready?"
Wow, he was ready. Usually we have to bring him, get somebody going. We're up, but yeah, Joe. 83. Joe, you were the top guest for me.
I think one of the funniest ones for me was Ken Martin.
I agree.
Works for Southwest.
Yes, he was a stand-up comedian.
Episode 27.
Thank you. Wow,
Yeah.
that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow. And it doesn't seem that long ago with him, but yeah, apparently it has.
And that's another one that,
we got an update.
He was a stand-up comedian
Yes.
and stuff, so he was definitely comfortable.
Yes,
You know.
in front of, and he was talking about himself.
Yeah.
And comedians do that. That's part of what they do. And Ken and I started working at Skipper's in Spokane.
And actually, didn't he do Toys for Tots with you, one of your fundraisers?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Was that the one that?
I believe it was the one.
Let me see. Okay, so here we go. People are going, "What the heck?" You were just Nick's going. Guy behind the camera. She's going, "Can I leave yet?" Nick, you can pull up. Do we have another chair back there somewhere? Well, maybe not. Screw you.
I'm fine.
Okay. Doing everything that I've been involved with, I've obviously asked you to help out because you're one of my best friends. Indoor arena football. Also, so we tied that in to do Toys for Tots benefit concert because I also play music. I'm in a band that I've done many of those shows, benefit shows to raise money and help kids out. So I arranged it, and that came up just yesterday about why am I, Vicar, you're not an event planner or a wedding planner? I got nothing. So back to the show. I booked it at a prominent place in Spokane. It had many guests. We got the Spokane Shock indoor football team involved. My band was going to be the headline act. I think we had another band or two. I can't remember now. It's been a
I
few.
believe so. Yeah.
I asked Ken Martin being a stand-up comedian. Over the years, I wanted to get him engaged in one of my shows somehow, some way, so they both help each other out. I mean, I know he's always been at it. Even knowing now, you can just tell if the break came, he'd take it. But yeah, he was supposed to do the opener. I don't know if he did. Something happened because of bad weather, or I can't remember now. But I had to play, as Ryan interviewed not too long ago, interviewed me about my mascot, unofficial stuff that I've done for years as the Shock Warrior, the Wolfpack Warrior. And back then, and it was planned in my head, but I knew I could not be in two places at once, being in the band playing drums and having the Shock Warrior show up. And yet, Shock Warrior showed up. How was that for you?
You know, to be honest, it was a little awkward.
Not doing it, not knowing, and not
Yeah.
sure how to do certain things, and
Yeah. And just not being that comfortable
right,
in front of crowds and stuff
Right.
at that time.
yeah. At that time, nowadays you probably even do more, but you've been doing more out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was very grateful you did it. And that one picture we have of you.
I was grateful you asked me.
Well,
I mean, you know, really it meant a lot to me that you wanted me to be a part of it.
It's like having Batman and Bruce Wayne in the same
yeah,
place.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
How can that be?
If people didn't know if they did, but yeah, that's the whole idea. Is because I wanted the band, because I'm very proud of the band, especially Plastic Saints, the band I'm currently in that hasn't played for years. But find us on YouTube, Plastic Saints. Plastic Saints is our opening music
It is.
for the show. Yeah. So as we divert off, Ken Martin. Sure, saying Ken Martin.
Yeah.
We got to get him back on. And then he did the entertainment music park over in North Idaho. Remember him talking about doing training, some robbery or acting?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
We've had interesting.
Silverwood.
We've had interesting guests, and Ken. I think it was in one episode, and he could have been a 3.
Yeah.
That's before episode 27. That explains why we didn't know. Look at. What time we start?
I'm not even sure.
I don't know either.
28 minutes.
We're rambling. We haven't got to some of the things I want to talk about. So I think we're gonna have to go 2-parter. We apologize, you guys. If you've watched this far, you've suckered you in. So, what's our outro? Career Paths, Infonet. Subscribe, like, hate. Leave a comment. Brian's the good guy. I'm the bad guy.
Sure. Yeah.
We got nothing.
Got nothing.
Get a hold of guys at Infonet, Paul and Mitchell. We need raises.
Yeah. Big raises.
You got a raise coming on being a host, didn't you? You told me. You weren't lying, were you?
Well, you know.
Whatever.
I don't like to talk numbers, but
Hang in there next week, episode 101.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Career paths, and we do this for fun. This isn't our technical career, but if we ever got the other opportunity, we will go.
Yeah.
And go. So there you go. Anything else?
That's it.
It's your life, make it happen. I'm getting sick and I'm getting tired because I had to. Oh, I had to help the guys or tell them where to do this stuff.
Yeah, you did.
That's Till next week. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk more. I want to know more about
All right.
more. Till
Bye.
then, bye.
Ashes to ashes.
Okay. Take 24. La 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 la.
Green Head.